Well, I don't have anything that says what the fuck Thursday, but I thought about what could this be? Hot mess Thursday, because I don't know. People just be on one. I can tell you about some of the conversations I had this week with people about their choice in relationships. It's kind of interesting. But anyway, welcome to the show a day later because, we depend on my cousin to do the column and she was having drama and she couldn't do it. And so we're a day late, but whatever. I decided not to stress. And somebody said, I never knew you would be scared of somebody. It's like, that's because you haven't met her. She is special. She's special evil. And she used to babysit me. So I'm used to her. But when people do you something for you, like especially like this, takes a lot of her time. I'm not about to try to complain that she didn't get it done on the day that we originally thought about getting it done. I just said, okay. And then I just shared that information with you guys. And there you go. That's why we're here today. And everybody's happy, right? Nobody's complaining. We got 22 questions. The way this show works, people go to debsterism.com and they complete the form there to get advice. It's free if your letter's chosen. But you don't have a chance to get chosen if you don't send it in. So you send in your letter. My cousin reviews them all. She picks some for the column. This week she chose 22. Usually it's about 25. And then I read them on the air, and then I answer them right off the top of my head. Sometimes, I think about it later. So yeah, I could have said that. I forgot about that part. And sometimes the people in the audience come up with some really good insight too. So if you hear your question today, be sure to check the chat as well as listen to what I have to say. And then between the two of us, you should have a good answer to your question, a good solution. So here we go. Question number 1 of 22. This is a young lady in the 28 to 34 age group out of San Diego. The male in question is 28 to 34. Summary of issue. My husband always expects me to have dinner planned, but I hate cooking. How do I get out of this responsibility? My husband and I both work full time and I get home after him. We also both split the bills 50-50. You stupid. Yet he expects me to have dinner for him every night. And if I don't, he will either not eat and pout about it or make/buy him food just for himself. Is this a traditional wife thing to do? I don't want to be responsible for what we eat every night. Many days I can't even think of something to eat because I usually don't have much of an appetite. Plus, I hate cooking and I've made that clear for the several years we've been together. Buying takeout is okay, some nights, but I don't want to do it every day. Deb, do you have any thoughts for a possible solution or a compromise that I could propose to him? Yes. They had those meal delivery services where you get the stuff and it's frozen and you stick it in your freezer. And then I think you just microwave it or maybe you put it in the oven. I'm not really sure how it works. But I've seen like lots of them and people give them, pretty high ratings. That's what y'all need. And so then that way neither one of you have to cook and then he could just microwave his when he gets home and then you can microwave yours when you get home and then there you go. The other thing is you guys, if you want to work together as a couple, is that you cook together. Like, you guys will sit down, say on the weekend, this could be a fun thing you do. You flip through magazines, you flip through TikTok, you flip through websites and you find stuff that you would like to try. Okay. Then you say, okay, we're going to have this Monday and then we eat leftovers Tuesday. We'll have this Wednesday. We eat leftovers Thursday. And then Friday, we won't cook. We'll go out or get takeout or something. And then Saturday, we'll try this barbecue. And then Sunday, we'll do this. Okay. So you'll be cooking like 4 times during the week. And you guys choose recipes. You make sure you have the ingredients in the house. And then when he gets home, he can start to chopping the vegetable watching or whatever. And then when you get home, then you guys cook it. And then you sit down together and eat. So, it just takes a little bit of creativity. This is not rocket science, but it is definitely unfair for him to expect you to go to work all day, just like he goes to work all day, and that all the cooking is supposed to fall on you. Since all the eating ain't on me, all the cooking is not going to be either, and neither is all the dishwashing or anything else. And secondly, what is the split the bills 50-50 stuff? What kind of marriage is that? Why don't you guys have a joint account and then somebody just is responsible for paying the bills? It's none of this 50-50 stuff. That's like living like a roommate. That gets you in trouble. I don't understand marriages like that. It's like, your mentality continues to be mine and yours, not ours. It's not a team. It's you and me separately. The mentality that makes people want to do that kind of relationship is I don't know. I've never really seen it work. And ultimately, the women feel just like you, burdened and not really taken care of emotionally or any other kind of way, and the guy keeps tabs. And so if you have a guy who wants to keep tabs and do 50-50 like that, I just not a relationship I could ever recommend because his mind's not right. He's not thinking like, this is my responsibility. I am the husband, and it is my job to make sure that everyone in my household is taken care of. Now, she want to pay a couple of bills or whatever she want to do, some contributor money. That's fine. She can, but she shouldn't have to do 50-50 with you. If you are so broke that you need a woman to go 50-50 with you, you should not get married until you got your shit more together. That's not a husband. That's a roommate. Okay, it's just a roommate you sleeping with, girlfriend. I don't know what you're doing. But yeah, you consider those options and then you guys work that out because this is silly to be fighting about this. Question number 2. This is a female in the 35 to 41 age group from Portland, Oregon, male, same age group. Summary of issue. My boyfriend constantly brings up the fact that I don't support his dreams and how he is hurt by it. Okay. Let's see what kind of dreams Home Skillet got. Deb, I know this will sound crazy, but I really do want to hear your thoughts on this. I want to settle down, and when I ask him if we're on the same page, he constantly keeps bringing up the fact that I don't support his dreams. He told me that I laughed at him when he told me his dream was to be on the cover of Forbes one day. Forbes, the magazine? I don't remember him telling me or laughing at him. It could have possibly happened while we were drunk. When I ask him what his goals are his plans are to get there, he's clueless. He doesn't have a game plan at all. He owns his own business and all, but simply put his goal is to be on Forbes one day with no map. To me, it sounds very childlike, superficial, and grandiose. The fact that he doesn't even have a plan to get there makes it worse. I ended up calling him a man-child because he keeps arguing with me about it when I'm trying to settle down and have realistic goals and expectations for us. What are your thoughts and opinions on this? One part of me feels like I'm being harsh and I should play along and support him. Another part of me thinks that he's a lost cause. Girl, I would have deuced out. Soon as he said that, he didn't have a plan to get there. At least like go on the website and see, what their criteria are for, usually they have like publication stuff like submitting articles, submitting news and that kind of stuff, to kind of give you a guideline of what they're looking for. That would give him a bit of a hint. But I'm thinking for Forbes, who's in the news? I mean, what novel, fantastical, wonderful thing has this person done over the last 90 days? Because, they usually shoot them covers 90 days in advance prior to when it actually is published. And, that's who makes the cover of Forbes, movers and shakers, not somebody with a hardware shop in Boise, Idaho. So wherever the fuck y'all is from. But it's like, he's being unrealistic. So for you, who seems very serious-minded and determined, and you want to map out a plan and plan your future, you're with someone who's just stonewalling with silliness. I would highly suggest that you tell him that you're going to cut him loose so he can go and be on the cover of Forbes, Penthouse, Playboy, Time, all of them. He could just jockey for position and be on the cover of all the magazines he wants to be on because you're going to be off doing your own thing. That's what I would tell him. Just hearing this, I'm just imagining myself in your shoes. I'm sitting there with a grown man, and he tells me that he wants to be on the cover of Forbes. And I would look at him and I would say, just what you did. Well, what's your plan? How are you going to make that happen? Especially if he jammed me up for not believing in his dream. And then he doesn't have a plan, he would get cussed out. I wouldn't have time for any kind of little shenanigans like that. He'd have to be cut loose. Right, you guys? What? Is it just me? Am I wrong? I just, I just don't even know what to say. Some man just trying to jam me up talking about you don't support my dreams and you don't even have no plans. Ex-love, ex say she just laughed out loud. I would have laughed too. And she said she don't remember. It's glitching. I see that. The internet is going in and out. YouTube, I don't know what to say. Some days are better than others, and today seems to be a bad day. I don't know what to say, though. Let me, I must see if I close up some of these programs that are running in the background, if that helps. Probably not. It seems to be the internet, not really anything else, but who knows, might be. Okay, I closed a couple of programs. Let's see if that helps. Okay, so yeah, girl. Question number 3. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group from Indianapolis, Indiana. Summary of issue. My boyfriend doesn't communicate with me much, if at all. I am very transparent to my partner. I always update him and I tell him about my day. I tell him my problems. I tell him, oh, she sounds like she talked too much. My random thoughts and jokes. Here's the problem. He doesn't do the same. He forgets to update me. He doesn't tell me about his day, even if I ask him. He doesn't share what's bothering him, even if I ask him that too. I'll only know things about him if it already happened or if he accidentally tells me. I do not feel that we are investing the same emotions and efforts in this relationship. What should I do? You should shut up. You should shut up. You know why he's not saying anything? Because you talk too fucking much. You always running your mouth. You telling somebody every single thought that you have and every occurrence in your little miserable life. Who do you think cares? Nobody want to hear all that. That's the stuff you tell your diary. You sitting up there expecting your man to turn around and do the same. Men don't talk like that. If you do meet one that runs his mouth that kind of way, everybody hates him because he got diarrhea in the mouth. No man should ever be talking that much. Okay, it's just not masculine for him to be running his mouth like a hen. Girlfriend, okay, you wore me out just in this letter, just thinking about you, all the minutia that you dump on this man on a daily basis, and you expect him to regurgitate that shit back to you. Nobody's going to do that. If this is your realistic expectation of a man in a relationship, you're going to constantly be disappointed because the man who's going to tell you all that kind of stuff every day hasn't been born yet. You just so unrealistic, it's not even funny. Cut this stuff out. You give him the Cliff Notes version of your day because he really don't give a fuck. Nobody cares what happened to you on your job, in the traffic, what happened at the grocery store, this and at the ATM. Nobody cares. Okay, nobody cares. He's going to live his life just fine without knowing all that garbage about your life. It's just ridiculous. So, re-examine that. It's like read the room. When you start talking like that, what does his face look like? What does his eyes look like? His body language. That'll tell you right there. But see, you probably be in your own world, just like running there, that you don't even look, you don't tune into how he's responding to you. You don't pay any attention. And that if you did, you would see that he's already checked out and you could stop talking. Or talk about something he's interested in talking about. You don't do that either. Oh, Lord. Some people just really some people are quiet and they just like, you're right, just like to be in their head. That's me. I talk more to you guys, but this is like once or twice a week at the most. But, it's like, I don't know, don't want to say scripted, but there's a purpose to the conversation. But I mean, just to sit there and just talk about nothing, I can't say that I do that. I have a couple of friends, they want to call and they try to stay on the phone for like an hour and stuff, and I'd be like dying on the vine. I make excuse where I have to get off the phone. I can't do it. It's like, oh my God, do you know how much stuff I could have done in this hour? I'm sitting here talking to you about nothing? A gossip about people I don't even know? I mean, like, whatever. That's me though. Anyway, that's the answer to your question about Forbes dude. Question number, oh, I already read that. Question number 4. This is a female in the 35 to 41 age group from Gilbert, Arizona. The male is 50 to 56. Okay, so he's considerably older. All right, summary of issue. The new man I'm dating and herb use. I met a new man online 2 months ago. He admitted he smokes herb every evening. I made it clear that I am not into any of that kind of stuff at all. He has said he intends to come off it, and it was his plan this year to cut it way back. I've called it off because I found myself getting feelings for him. He has asked me to give him 6 months to come off it. He says he can't commit to coming off it in a few days' time, but he will get the wheels in motion to start making changes. He asks that we continue to see each other and is happy to take things super slow while he makes these changes. He is a very nice man, professional, kind, and caring from what I've known so far. He does have anxiety, okay, and uses the herb for that. He only started smoking herb in his 30s and said that no one would even know that he does it. Should I give this a chance or run? Well, you said right here, I have made it clear that I am not into any of those kinds of things at all. Okay, so that means that you aren't on you ain't on his page. You don't have his values. You don't have his morals. You don't have his view of what's okay to put in your body. You don't have all of that. So even though he might be a nice guy, he might be professional, all this kind of stuff, that right there is called a red flag. It's a red flag, and it's not even an orange flag. It is a solid red flag for you. Now, for a woman who was okay with that kind of stuff, maybe she occasionally indulged herself, they would probably make a good pair because they're on the same page. You're not on that page, and you're going into a relationship making the mistake of expecting a man to change. That is a no-no. You never do that. What you see is what you get. Now, if they change on their own down the road, something, that's their red wagon. But they should never, ever put you in the position of telling you that they're changing for you. That puts the responsibility for him continuing to make this change or making it successfully on your shoulders. You don't even understand the game that is. And so then if they fail, well, it's going to be your fault. You see what I mean? So I would just tell him, well, you wish him luck on his journey. It was wonderful meeting him. And, the 2 months y'all spent talking and this and that, it was lovely. And good luck, goodbye, and good riddance. That's what you should be telling them. Well, whether it is or not, see, like, okay, for me, it's like, okay, I have asthma. I've had it as a kid, really bad. I missed more kindergarten because the cold air in the morning would hit my lungs and I would just go into a spasm. I missed more of kindergarten than I went because I was in morning class. In San Francisco, they used to do morning kindergarten. You get out at noon, and then they do afternoon kindergarten, and you get out at, 3:30 or something. I had a morning class, and it was awful. To this day, I can't be around dogs or cats. Anything furry, bunnies, the feathers. People have bird feathers all over the house and stuff. I can't do it. I get sick as a dog. So I refuse to be around any smokers or to put any smoke in my body. I don't want to be around smokers because the residual smoke smell, is on their clothes or whatever. They feel like if they leave the window open and just blow the smoke out the window, that should be good enough. I mean, there's all kind of ways they try to get around it. Conflicts I've, experimented with and it did not work. So at this point, if someone tells me they smoke anything, I can't date them. I can't. At some point, they're going to do it in my car or do it in my house, or I'm going to be at their house and they're going to do it in their house. But, they should feel the right to do that because it's their spot. So it just doesn't work. I mean, you come in your door expecting people to change and not do stuff that they're comfortable doing and like to do. That never works. I mean, you got to have a relationship where everybody's in it is comfortable, being themselves. And he can't be himself around you because you don't like the person that he is because of what he does. So this is a wrap, girlfriend. Just accept it and move on. Yeah, asthma ain't no joke. Did I tell y'all about the time my cousin died on the couch in the living room on Thanksgiving? I was about 7 or 8 years old, but I They didn't let me see it, but I heard my auntie screaming and all the commotion and the ambulance coming and stuff. He had asthma. He was laying in the living room and everybody was in the back, and he was sick. And, everybody kept going to check on him, but somewhere in there, I guess too many minutes went by or something. I don't know what happened, but when they went in there to check the next time, dude was gone. It was over. He was like 19. So, yeah, asthma, man, is nothing to joke around with. And since that happened, and a peripheral witness, like I said, they did not let me, my parents pulled me away and my brothers, we were too little. They pulled us away so we didn't see anything. But just the commotion, the adults' reactions, it was just terrible. It made it, I think I have trauma. And so I'm not trying to be in a position where I have asthma that bad because of a relationship. I'm sorry. I mean, you might be you so wonderful. Your ass is best buddies with Jesus Christ himself. You know what? Poop, deuces. Because you smoke something. I can't do it. Question number 5. This is a man in the 20 to 34 age group from Woodbridge, New Jersey. Summary of issue. I'm a very ambitious and career-driven guy. Is it problematic that I'm turned off by women who are the same? I'm the typical type A, borderline workaholic type of dude that loves challenging myself and building my career. I have a PhD and I tend to surround myself with friends who are hyper ambitious as well. But it's a different story from our romantic life. When I meet a woman for a date and she is similarly hyper ambitious and career focused, I'm turned off. I'm much more attracted to women who are more my opposite personality type. Laid back, easygoing, soft-spoken, and content with life. When I say that, it sounds like I have some kind of 1950s views or something, but I really don't. I consider myself a feminist. I'd like to say I'm attracted to ambitious women in 2023, especially since we be so similar, and yet my brain isn't into it. Do you think this is a problem? Nope. And it's what needs to happen. You can't have, when you have two of those like driven, super ambitious, work 15-hour day types of people, the relationship, it just don't work. It just doesn't work. Both those people end up usually having an affair with somebody who's working with them because that person's there. They spend more time with that person than they do their spouse. Not only that, especially, you got to remember, like people who are real competitive, like, who real go-getters like that, they're competitive. So what you're going to have is a couple where they're competing against each other. Who's going to, like the pissing contest, who gets the most clients, who made the most money, who got, whose acquisition was bigger, who got the better deal on something. I mean, who won their case and who didn't, who got the best settlement for the client. It becomes a competition. And I learned this from when I was going to college. I worked at this law firm, right? And the attorney I worked for was dating another attorney. He's a young cat, about 32 or something. And he was dating this girl, and she was an attorney at another law firm. And he came in one day and said, he broke up with her. And I was like, why? I mean, you seem to really like that girl and everything. I was shocked. And he called me in his office and he told me that, he said, I couldn't quite put my finger on it for a long time, why I didn't feel comfortable with her. And he said, because she was competing with him. She was always, well, what did you do? Well, I did this. Well, this, so it was always like she's trying to one up him. And he said, I get enough of that at work. I don't need, and with clients and other attorneys and, the judges and stuff, I don't need to go home and have some more of that. I just want some peace when I go home. And that's what he's talking about. He just wants some peace. He'll do all that, going out and being the caveman, the killer of the saber-tooth tiger and all that kind of stuff. He wants a woman who's going to make a home and, an environment that's comfortable for him to use like a launching pad. Now, some women are not going to go for that, and that's fine. You don't have to. But that's what he's looking for. And usually for a woman who's that go-getter, really aggressive type, she needs a man like this who's laid back. I mean, he might have a job, a little business or something like that, but he's home at 5. He picks up the kids from daycare. He helps clean up the house. He's like a mellow, more of a home, he's family-oriented type of dude, while she's the one out slaying the saber-tooth tigers and the T-Rexes and whatnot. So a couple, you need that opposite, you need that balance. And so I've never seen it work. And I've never seen it work. It just, like I said, it's too much competition. It's just, that one-upmanship thing, just this is a killer of love. Well, he didn't say submissive. He didn't say that. He just says want someone who's easygoing, laid back. That means not gonna be like aggressive and a goat. Like competitive and trying to argue about every damn thing. Sometimes you don't have to be submissive. You just be like, oh, and if you have something to say, you say it, but it don't have to be a big fight. And usually if you're a quiet, soft-spoken type of woman, you usually will get what you want because you don't really drive him crazy. You're not always fussing and fighting and raising hell. So when you say, oh, I really like, I prefer this, or I'd like to see this and that, or why don't we do this and that? And you so sweet, he's going to give it to you. See, you just got to use your feminine wiles. Young women don't know nothing about that, though. Question number 6. This concerns two females in the 22 to 27 age group from Fayetteville, North Carolina. The young man is 20 to 34. The summary of issue: my cousin acts flirty around my fiance, and I don't like it. Oh, she does. You haven't kicked her butt yet? Okay. My cousin is a trip. My dad and her dad are identical twin brothers, and we're the same age. So my cousin and I grew up very close, more like sisters. My fiance and I hang out with her several times a month and have gone on short trips together, just the three of us. Okay, what you do that for? I'm so glad we all get along really well and are super close, but I wonder if sometimes she crosses boundaries. Okay, let me just stop right here. First of all, keep your relatives out of your relationship. It's great that she went one time. That should have been the end of it. You don't need to be going on no weekend trips with your cousin. Where's her dude? If it's going to be a foursome, it's two couples, that's one thing. But it's just you three, two dudes, your dude and your cousin and you? What's wrong with you? I'm not saying that this is a jealous, possessive thing. I'm saying this is that don't make sense. Why are you inviting a wolf into your house shit? Okay, now you got problems. You're doing too much and you're being overly trusting. Let's see what else is going on. This is starting off real good. I'm trying to keep this short. Thank you, Jesus. So here are some quick examples of things that she's done and said to indicate that she might have feelings for my fiance. And then your ass bringing her on weekend trips. So they got 48 hours to be around each other. The thought actually did cross my mind until recently, though. Number one, telling me I need to find myself my fiance's name. I wish he had a brother. Keep in mind, she has a boyfriend of 2 years. Saying, I wish my boyfriend was more like my fiance because of XYZ. You're so lucky, etc. Trying on several outfits for a night out and asking only him, how do I look? Do you like this? Is this too sexy? Oh, no. Girl, you stupid. Being touchy, hugging him when she's been drinking. One time she put her head in his lap when drunk, as if using his leg as a pillow. This was a turning point for me, LMAO. You laughing? You didn't snatch that bitch up and fling her on the floor? And she also jokingly says, our fiance. I'm not sure how to address it with her. If I don't mention it, I'll keep feeling somewhat disrespected and uncomfortable with her. There's that word, being a little attention-seeking / flirtatious around my fiance. If I do mention it, I'm possibly setting myself up for being gaslit and told I'm crazy, jealous, reading too much into things. But honestly, maybe I am reading too much into things. Maybe she just sees him as a good guy and friend. For what is mirth, my fiance hasn't mentioned anything about it, so I assume nothing has bothered him. Looking for your and the squad's thoughts on whether her behavior sounds strange, and if so, how to bring it up without being accusatory or causing drama. Thank you. This is a conversation that you don't have with her. You have it with him. And he should have stopped her. Like when she put her head on his lap, he should have said, get up. That's my lap is reserved for blah, blah, blah. Okay. The responsibility for checking her on her behavior and these comments that she's making. I mean, you don't say that he was around for all of them, but let's just say he was, because some of the stuff she might have just said to you. I just thought of that. And he might not even have been within earshot. But anything that he did here, they're saying that, comparing him, I wish I had this and that. See, he's supposed to shut that down and say, I don't think your man would appreciate you comparing me to him. That's not cool. Don't do that. He has to do stuff like that. Now, I mean, I'm not saying that he is not doing it intentionally. Sometimes dudes just really don't know what to say. because they've never been in a situation like that before. They know the two of you are really close. He might feel, some kind of way about, infringing or coming off too heavy-handed or something, so that he's a little nervous about speaking up and saying. So you need to have this conversation with him and say, look, I've noticed this, and this, and especially that thing where she laid her head in your lap. I want to know why you did not have her get up. I mean, if anybody other than maybe your sister or your mother, grandmother or something, does not need to lay their head in your lap. Would you like me to be laying my head all up in some man's lap all near his crotch? Would that work for you? See, you got to flip stuff so men can, get that visual, right? And then he's going to think about it. He's going to be like, oh, hell no. So you got to do it like that. Would you like me telling some man, some girl that I wish you were like her dude? No, so you do it like that so he can reframe what's going on and get a visual of your feelings. Because right now he's either scared of your feelings or he likes these, what's going on. But you haven't really expressed to him that you don't like it, that you even notice it. He might think that you're just stupid and didn't even pick up on it. So you have to have this conversation with him first. I strongly suggest that you tell him that, anything that she says like that in the future, I expect you to say something to shut it down. It needs to be very clear that she has no chance with you. I don't care about her little flirts and all this old stuff here, but either you shut it down or I will, and you don't want me to do it. That would be me. My husband knew better, so he he was constantly shutting shit down. Because people be like, women just be getting just being rambunctious. So I don't know. I think that, it's the onus is on him to remove any perception of inappropriateness or impropriety by any female that is not you. I don't care what it is or who it is, what's said, what's done. The appearance of it. Do you hear my language here? The appearance of impropriety or inappropriateness is to be shut down by the dude immediately. Any less than that, it means he's either going for it, because he likes it, or he's scared and he don't know what to say. But you still got to give him the permission to do it. So you go and have this conversation with him and say, this is what I expect from you. So next time some shit happens, I'm going to be watching. And you better open your mouth and you better say something to shut it down. And also, she ain't going on no more weekend trips with you either. Okay? You got to start putting up better boundaries here. Question number 7. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Des Moines, Iowa. And another female, 28 to 34, and a male, 28 to 34. Okay, wait a minute. What's going on? Yeah. What the hell? If he doesn't and she's stuck with egg on her face, then it's time to deuce out, because that means that the ones in the relationship is them. So either way, she's not going to miss a beat by doing what I said. She's either going to clear the path and he's going to have clear instructions for what to do and to be very clear that it's okay for him to speak up now, or he's going to be like, well, no, I don't, this and that, blah, 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 where he starts making excuses. Well, then he's into it, in which case you better give him his ring back, because that's not nobody you want to marry who's got a fucked up attitude like that. You want your man solidly on your team, 100% on your team, and only on your team. If you can't even marry him and he's already drifting off into somebody else's camp on somebody else's team, that's not anybody that you marry. Okay? Marriage is hard enough when you both 110% into it. It's still hard. It's still an uphill battle. Still some struggles here and there. I mean, it's generally okay, but it ain't nothing that's sweet pea all the time. You guys got to think alike and be on the same page, and both have your relationship solidly and the protecting of it solidly as your top priority. If either one of you drifts away from that, the marriage won't work. It won't work. You both have to put aside your little individual stuff and focus on what's good for the relationship, what's good for your marriage. If you can't do that, then don't get married. Don't even think about it. Give him his ring back and stop calling him your fiance. Okay, so we're on to this Des Moines, Iowa, two girls, one guy thing. Summary of issue. How do I cope with my coworker dating our work crush? My coworker is almost 30 and I'm 23. We both had what I thought was a harmless crush on a 30-year-old guy we work with who started last year. I don't need to know all that. We would joke about it sometimes, but I never seriously considered pursuing it. I didn't want to step on any toes, and since the guy works below us, I didn't think it would be ethical. So he's subordinate, okay, or even allowed. I really liked him, but I was very careful not to cross any lines. Well, long story short, my coworker did pursue it, and it turned out in her favor. She got drunk and kissed him at a party a couple of months ago, and he then asked her out, and now they're officially dating. What really sucks is that the backlash I had anticipated never came. Everybody, including our boss, seems to totally approve, and my other female coworkers can hardly talk about anything else. I am so hurt and angry, I just don't know what to do. I can't get away from it at work. I'm still fairly new, and this is my first real job. I definitely can't confront my older, more experienced coworker or be openly upset about this. It's just killing me, though. I feel like I spend most of my time after work crying lately. You need your ass kicked. I feel ugly, betrayed, embarrassed, and just so sad. I tried to do the right thing and I totally screwed myself. Any tips on how to survive this? Yes, look your monkey ass in the mirror and ask yourself this question. Because you liked him, did you ever see any sign that he liked you back? Did he ask you out? Did he even give you a birthday card, a birthday gift? Get your phone number to call, to text you privately. What moves did this man make that would make you think that you had a chance with him? And so to the point where you mad because you feeling rejected and all this old shit here. You sound stupid. You're 23 with the mentality of an 11-year-old. Because you like a man does not mean or obligate him to like you back. And because there was probably a whole bunch of women in the office that liked him, he chose who he liked and it wasn't you. Get over your bitch ass self. You're stupid. It's just retarded. And you bringing that shit to the office and looking all stupid and crying after work and all kind of dumb shit. You sound like a fool. Slap yourself and get yourself straight here. Straighten up your face. This is only the beginning. You're only 23. It's going to be a whole bunch of situations where you like somebody and they don't like you back. Get the fuck over it. And she didn't steal nothing from you. He wasn't ever yours. He didn't like you one day. You didn't go out with you, never called you nothing. You tripping. She sound crazy. She just sounds simple and stupid. I like an 11-year-old. Oh, I like Johnny first. Johnny can't like you because I liked Johnny. Question number 8. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Yonkers, New York. Summary of issue. How do I honor my intuition without harming my relationship? Hi, Deb and squad. I'm 26 and I have been with my boyfriend who's 27 for a little over 2 years. There's a woman, age unknown, that he works with, and since the moment I met her, she gave me an off feeling. There was an incident a few months ago where she, quote, accidentally sat in between his legs while taking a group photo with their colleagues, and I was there. We joined the coworkers and celebrated the end of a season for their work, and everyone was drinking. I went right up to them and asked what they were doing and what was wrong with them. She said she didn't know, and my boyfriend was very embarrassed and swore it was a mistake. He was just trying to take the photo, and as soon as she sat down, he knew he should have moved out of the way. We got past it, and I believe it was a mistake. You stupid too. The next season for work is coming up, and he will be working with her again, and I'm dreading it. I'm proud of my boyfriend. I support him 110%. But my intuition is screaming at me that this girl is bad news. I feel sick thinking about it. I'm not sure how to deal with the situation. And if I talk to my boyfriend, I'm not sure how to word it in a way that doesn't come off as jealous or insecure. Maybe I'm a little bit of both, and I can accept that. But I've met plenty of other women he works with, and they've never given me the vibe that she did. How would you suggest I go about dealing or talking about this? What would you do if it was you? When you went walking up there asking what he was doing, I would have told her, get your bitch ass up out of, don't you be sitting nowhere close to my man like that. Now, see, people say, but Deb, that makes it sound like you're jealous. It's not jealous. This is the part you guys don't understand, I think. When they do it and you're not there, that's one thing. If they know that you're there and you're seeing it, it's not about the dude, it's about you. They're disrespecting you in your face, and it's a test to see how you're going to handle it. I'm going to take the challenge. You done thrown down the gauntlet. I'm about to pick it up and bitch slap you with it. So I would have went over there and told her, get your bitch ass up out of that, from between his legs. That's my seat. That's my spot. And get your bitch ass out of it. And then she would have got up and that would have been that. And then by you handling it that way, she would have known not to try you again because you would have just clowned her right in front of everybody. And I don't, that kind of stuff. I don't care about that kind of stuff. People be like, you coming off as jealous and freaky and, jealous weird and all this stuff. Who gives a shit? Why are you worried about what other people think? Who gives a fuck what they think? Are they paying you? Why are you so worried about making a good impression on them? I don't care. What I do care about is you not going to try to disrespect me right in my face and think I'm going to let you get away with it. We ain't doing that. So that's what it is. A lot of women would be too afraid to say anything, and they would just be, just like you. Well, what are you doing? Who asked that? You could see with your eyes what was going on. What you need to ask that redundant ass question for? Should have snatched that bitch out from under there or grabbed him by his ear and made him stand up and follow you out the room with everybody laughing at his ass. This is the kind of thing. But anyway, okay, they're going to be working together again, you think? I would sit him down and I would say, okay, you know what happened last year? That sitting between your legs and all of those shit here, all the stuff that she be doing, these little trickerations and stuff. You better not, anything funny style like that happen again. We're through, sir. So you better think about it. Your job around any woman, including her, is to protect me and our relationship. That's your job. So any behavior that you do that threatens me or our relationship is going to cause problems. It is going to be a big problem. And it's going to be a lasting repercussions for that issue. So think hard before you let her get away with anything or anybody else. That's what would be his warning shot. Because some men are stupid and they need you to give them instructions. They need supervision. They can't think of that kind of stuff on their own. So you have to tell them what time it is. So once you tell him, see, then if he violates the rule, he can't say he didn't know how to handle it because you already gave him instruction. All you had to do is do what you told him to do, right? But, because a lot of these young cats they really don't know. But you would think they would have enough sense to know, okay, this seems like she trying to do some funny shit here, and I don't think my girl's going to like this. Okay, I know they must have that thought, but then why don't they do something about it? That's the part that drives me crazy. Let's move on to question number 9. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group from Norfolk, Virginia. The male in question is also 22 to 27. Summary of issue. My boyfriend said I need to put more effort into my appearance and dress more feminine. Or be more feminine, I'm sorry. My boyfriend is a nice and caring man. He's 26, I'm 22. He's never been abusive or manipulative towards me whatsoever in the 6 months that we've dated. But today he brought up how he wants me to put more effort into my appearance. In other words, quote, try harder for him, end quote. That's what you get, sir. Okay. He claims that I should try to look better by wearing more makeup, do my hair, and wear cute clothes, quote, for him. Okay, here it comes. Here it comes. You may not have done anything in 6 months, or it could have been so subtle that you didn't catch it. But this definitely on that path of controlling what you do. He also said that I should embrace my feminine side more. I have no issues wearing a cute dress, skirt, or even heels. But overall, I say I'm more tomboyish. I like wearing comfortable clothes and no makeup. Of course, when we go out on dates, I do try to look nice and I do my makeup then. But if we're just chilling at home, why would I need to do all that? I need some clarity in this situation because I don't want to take what he said the wrong way. But something isn't sitting right with me. Maybe it offended me a little because I do feel like I put in effort when it's necessary. Well, not knowing what your, quote, comfy looks like. I mean, are you looking like somebody that got shops at Salvation Army? I mean, you got like hobo looking clothes on or something. I mean, what kind of stuff you got on? Because you could be comfortable and still look cute. But this is why, maybe I should add an upload to that advice form so people can send me a picture of what they're talking about. Because this doesn't I don't know, I can't get a visual of what it is that you're talking about. I'm tomboyish and I like to, wear comfy clothes. And I mean, okay, so what you looking like? I mean, that would be where I need to, that's my starting point. But I will say this, you a little mascara and some lip gloss don't kill nobody. Okay. That's what 30 seconds of makeup. It enhances your eyes, and then it looks nice when you sit there and bat your eyes at them while y'all watching TV or whatever. Um, I don't know. I don't like to dress up around the house either. It's just too much work. Yeah, I know it's lagging, but there's nothing I can do about it. I don't know why he's doing that. He's been doing that the whole broadcast. Raggedy YouTube. Or it might be my raggedy internet. I don't know what's happening. But if you feel offended, you need to bring it up to him and tell him, I didn't like when you start trying to tell me how to dress. If with the way that I present myself doesn't meet your standards, then we can stop here. It's been 6 months, it's been great. But one thing I'm not going to do is change myself to please anybody but me. And just tell him that with all earnestness so he understands what time it is. That's not going to happen. And it's nice that you would like to see that, but I'm not going to be going through all them changes over you and doing anything, quote, for you that involves changing my appearance. I'm not going to do that. You either take me as I am or you hit the door. Those are your two choices. And then you just, look at him and see which one he decides to do. But brace yourself because he might decide to walk, and that's fine too. Question number 10. This is a male in the 28 to 34 age group from London. The female is 35 to 41. Summary of issue. I have cancer. My mom has cancer, and she's stage 4 and dying. Oh, Jesus. And my girlfriend won't give me any support to grieve. She just wants attention and the world to center around her, even if video games are my escape. Wow, she sounds kind of special and unique. Hold on a second. Let me see here what I'm doing. Super helpful. Yeah, this the internet is just going in and out. Oh my God. I can see the little button now. In and out, in and out. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know what to do. Well, let's do what we can here. He says he doesn't know what to do. I have cancer. My mother has it. Actually, I have the same cancer my mother had before hers came back. Hit a second area of her stomach, and when it came back, it's stage 4, and she's now terminal. I haven't been okay since my mom's cancer returned, but just a few days ago, we found out that it's terminal and there's nothing left for the doctors to do. I've been in such a dark place. I've been having so much trouble processing and coping. I just get lost into video games to cope and keep myself from lashing and / acting out irrationally. I told my girlfriend, explained to her that I just needed to disconnect and some time away from everything because I've only ever had my mom. There was and still is no father in the picture. So if she goes, I don't know what I'll do at all. Instead of giving me time alone to grieve, she just been coming at me saying I don't care about her, that I'm not giving her attention. And now I've changed. And she would say things that make me get off from gaming, and that just ends up pulling me out into this nightmare of a reality even harder. It's so hard because of someone like me. In order to get better, I need to keep my mind going. I can't stop because all I'm going to hear are voices from the doctors and the images of my mom. I take care of my mother 24/7 because I'm her primary caretaker. And I keep being reminded that she has less than 6 months to live. Oh, damn. The moment I get on the computer to game is when my girlfriend comes out for attention. She's a gamer too. I've told her multiple times that she can game with me, but she doesn't. She wants to watch movies instead, and movies do not keep me distracted enough. Deb, I don't know what to do. No matter how many times I beg her to give me time to grieve and hide far away from the world and escape this nightmare, she just gets offended, sad, and guilt trips me to leave my games and spend time with her. I don't know how else to cope and deal with this situation. I don't have a psychiatrist or a therapist or any professional counselor that can be there to listen and help me get through this experience. What am I supposed to do to get her to understand I need to be alone and disconnect without her complaining about how I grieve and disconnect from the world? You need to cuss her bitch ass out. It sounds like they live together. I mean, if she doesn't live with you, it's a very simple matter to just put her ass on the other side of the door and take away her key so she can't get back in. That would be one way. But it sounds like they live together, which I never think is a good idea. But so the only thing you can do is cuss her out. Now, how would you cuss her out? You would sit there and you would go smooth the fuck off. And you would say, God damn it. I'm talking about I got 6 months to live with to see my mother. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get through the rest of my life without her. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with all her stuff, what I'm going to do with her estate, how I'm going to get her buried. I'm thinking about that kind of stuff, not to mention the cancer that I have with your stupid ass. It's just making the situation worse. All you want to talk about is yourself. Damn selfish hoe. Get out. Go stay at one of your friends' houses or something. If you don't do it, then I'm going to go. And I tell you what, when I get back after your shit gone, because I'm done here. Now, that would be what I would do, because she's draining you. She's not, not even being neutral. She's pulling from you, and she's doing it intentionally, and she's doing it on, repeatedly, and to the point where you're sitting there and you're fucking drowning emotionally with this selfish bitch. So, dude, I mean, I don't know if it's in you, but you better find your nuts and cuss her bitch ass out. Tell her I'm not watching no goddamn movies with you. I don't give a fuck about a movie. Stay the fuck out of my face. Leave me the goddamn hell alone. You just go somewhere with yourself, your selfish bitch ass. Get out. Get the fuck out. You tell her that, then she'll leave you alone, and she'll probably be so in tears and crying. But don't let that deter you. Because this the kind that's gonna try to manipulate you with tears and all that kind of stuff. Tell her I'm giving a fuck if your bitch ass cry me a goddamn river. Okay? It still wouldn't be enough tears. I don't care. There's gonna be nothing compared to the tears I cry when my mother dies. So I'd take your circus and pony show on somewhere else where somebody might give a fuck about it, because that person ain't here. She wouldn't want me to cuss her out. I would be cussing her. Oh my God, I just can't even think of how many names I would call her and how long I would be talking as I cussed her out for a good 10, 12 minutes at least, maybe 15. I would cuss her ass so hard till she walked out the door trying to escape, and then I would follow her to her car, still cussing. That's how we would play this. Yeah, he needs to get rid of her, but right now he's in an emotionally weakened state. He might not have the strength to do that, but he did have enough sense to write, and so I gave him a script. Hopefully, he has the cojones to follow it and get her on moved up out of his existence. He needs a woman who's more of a partner, not one who's there like a little kid, just looking for attention all the time. This is never going to work. Question number 11. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Charleston, South Carolina. Summary of issue. My boyfriend wants his brother to move in with us. What? I don't want that, and we're on the edge of breaking up because of it. I know that's right. For context, me and my boyfriend have been together for 3 years. We had our own place until his mother and a couple of his siblings came to live with us. After not being able to stand those in-laws, I thought you said, boyfriend ain't your in-laws, you tripping. For various reasons, I left our apartment some months before the lease was up. This was really short summary just to give you some background. Now that there's about a month left until the lease is up, we decided to look for a 2-bedroom apartment, as we have a son that's 4 months old, and we want him to have his own room. We applied and we were approved for an apartment. Yay! But yesterday, out of the blue, my boyfriend came to me and told me that he decided it was okay for his younger brother, who's 19, to move in with us. I immediately asked him, why? What made you come to that decision on your own when it's our apartment? He claims his little brother isn't comfortable going anywhere else and that he's more stable at our place. I tell him that we have no space in our new apartment. We plan for the extra bedroom to be for our son and that it wouldn't be comfortable with an in-law living with us again after what happened before. He says his brother being stable is more important than me being comfortable. Oh, I told him, no, it's not. I won't allow him to come live with us. I would understand if he had nowhere else to go, but he does. He's just choosing to come in with us. My boyfriend says if I won't allow him to move in with us, then they'll find a place for themselves. And even asked me if I could still sign the lease on this apartment so they can move in even if I'm not living there. Wow, he's a bold one, isn't he? Dad, that would leave me and my son to live at my mom's house since I can't afford my own apartment. He says I'm not taking into consideration my son at all, who would be happier living with both parents, and my son won't care who's living with us. I'm the only one upset about it. He says if it was the other way around, he wouldn't mind. I'm not even sure what advice to ask you for. I'm already dealing with postpartum depression, and this situation is just making things worse for me. I feel selfish for breaking up our family over an in-law moving in. To me, my options are to suck it up and have his brother move in order to keep our little family together, or stay with my mom and have the baby split between two places. Am I wrong for not wanting to live with in-laws anymore? And if it's just one, please be kind. Thank you for choosing my letter. No, you're not wrong. I don't know what you had a goddamn baby for, though. I'm going to chew your ass out about that. And you refer to these monkey motherfuckers as your in-laws? They ain't your in-laws. Your little ass is not married to nobody. You could escape the situation scot-free, except you had to just go up there and just breed and make a baby like a big dummy. Okay, so now you're going to have drama for 18 years and have this fool and all his relatives all up in your mix for 18 years because you was dumb and didn't keep up your birth control. Oh, my God, these young girls just be screwing up their lives so bad. Now they ain't married, and she up there talking about in-laws. You know they have dudes be calling them wifey, and they be escalating themselves up to wife status with no legal ties, no legal protection, no license, no nothing. Single as a jaybird talking about in-laws. But, I'm going to tell you, he's just trying to play you now, trying to have you sign a lease that, so if they don't pay for this place and your name is on it, then guess who they're going to be coming after? You. And guess who, if they damage the place, they're going to be coming after you. And if you decided you did want to get a place, they would see that you already have a residence somewhere else. They're going to be looking at like, well, can you afford to rent? And the answer would be no. And so you wouldn't get the new place. So you'll be screwing yourself all the way around to sign this lease, as he's saying. So what you do is you go, you could rent the 2-bedroom if you had another female roommate. Just leave the boyfriend out. Let him go stay over there with his people. They can stay there with him in that other place. They can renew that lease. And you and your female friends, especially somebody who's got a little kid too, move into the 2-bedroom place. Each one of you have your own room, and you have your baby in your room with you. And that way, if things happens in emergency, you got emergency. And I would break up with dude and not let him come. You can come for visitation, but you ain't coming to like spend the night and visit me or anything like that. You just coming to see the baby, and then you got 2 hours, and then you got to be up out of here. So you think about that, what I just said. Because you be screwing yourself over big time to sign this lease and let them live there. I think that was his game plan all along. He don't want to live with you. He just want a nice place away from his relatives. Question number 12. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Glendale, California. Summary of issue. My boyfriend makes fun of my panic attacks. I probably would do that too, but let's see what happens here. My boyfriend's 24 and I'm 22. We've been together for 2 years. This is our first relationship, so we've been through many hurdles, but we love each other a lot. In these 2 years, there has been numerous breakups, but it lasted for only one night. Fun fact is, no matter how many times we broke up over silly issues, I have always been the one who fixed everything by saying I'm sorry and making effort. I've been diagnosed with a major depressive disorder. When we broke up, I used to call him over and over again, and he didn't pick up as he was angry. But as I wanted to fix things, I would call continuously. In the meantime, I might have had panic attacks and used to cry and beg God to fix everything. Oh, my God, a drama fucking queen. So every time when he used to pick up the phone, he used to find me hysterical and crying. And it happened every single time. You stupid. Maybe I'm too invested or I can't control my feelings. Every time we used to get things fixed, I told him I don't do this again because it triggers my panic attack. No, no, no. What's triggering your panic attacks is you and your stupidity. You know that's how the man is, okay? After the first time, you know that's how he is. So why do you keep repeating this pattern? You're choosing to do this. You're choosing to go down this road. You doing that to yourself. Nobody's responsible for your panic attacks but you. Until you take responsibility for them like an adult, you will continue to have them and flip the fuck out about stupid shit like somebody not answering the phone. You should have turned your phone off and went to bed. You broke up, remember? Should have been calling them in the first place. Oh my God. So finally, so they had a fight last night. Okay, so the same drama happened. I begged him to pick up the phone. Okay, when he finally picked up the phone, I was sobbing and crying hysterically. He made fun of that. Good for him. He said I have these panic attacks over nothing. And if I have this trauma of him not picking up a damn phone, then it's funny. He didn't listen to me and made me feel so small. Good for him. I don't make these panic attacks intentionally. Yes, you do. It's not fun to cry and beg God to stop this pain. It must be because you keep doing it. It's not something I have control of. Well, who does? Who? Well, I sound like an owl. Who has control over it if it's not you since it's coming out your mouth and it's coming, your body's the one flipping around doing it? It's you. Is he right? Yes. Am I overreacting? Absolutely. Do panic attacks mean nothing? They don't mean anything to nobody except the fool that's having them. Is loving too much, investing myself too much over this my fault? Absolutely. And this isn't loving too much. This is just being a codependent weirdo. Something wrong with you. I love him so much, but it doesn't feel good when someone I love so deeply doesn't seem to understand the impact he has over me. I could just hear the violins. He was doing something else while I was sobbing hysterically, not giving me any attention, as it was just a dramatic routine for him. It's for me too. You done it like 97 times. It's not even unique and novel anymore. He said I should be grateful as he was listening to my ba screaming while he was mad at me. I am confused as hell. Please help me. How should I handle this? You should get yourself onto the couch of the nearest shrink and figure out what it is in your childhood that makes you think that responding this way to you not getting your way is appropriate. Because that's what it is. You want to talk to him. You want to fix things. You want to pick up the phone. And he doesn't do it. And you flip the fuck out. And what you call it anxiety, a panic attack, is nothing but a tantrum. You're throwing an adult tantrum because he didn't pick up the phone when you wanted him to. And then you sob and cry hysterically, expecting somebody to have sympathy for you, like mommy and daddy probably used to do. And as adults, people don't give a fuck about your tears. That's the part you sobbing bitches just don't get. You always want to cry to think somebody's going to care and, comfort you and want to pet you up and all this kind of stuff. Nobody cares about your tears. Okay? Nobody. If anything, like we run into a person like me, I'm worse than your boyfriend because I would have started making you cry more. I mean, I would have said all kind of crazy shit to you just so you could just be at the edge of the cliff with your tears. That would have been me. And then I'll just sit there. So see how easy it is to make you cry and just flip out? You just stupid. I'm done here. She's just trying to get attention. She's just a drama queen. And I don't blame him for the way he responded. Like I said, I think he was very polite and moderate in his response. Because I would have went savage on your ass and had you crying for 2 weeks. Question number 13. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from Memphis. Summary of issue. I regret moving in with my girlfriend. What can I do about it? Move out. I met my girlfriend about 7 months ago while visiting family in my home. Wait, you 7 months and you moved in already? We lived far apart, but we managed to develop a relatively strong relationship. At first, she was open to moving to my city, but later she changed her mind. She started bugging me instead to move back to Memphis since I work remotely. She would cry about it and made me feel like she could not spend 2 weeks without seeing me. We visit each other twice a month and usually stay with each other for about a week each visit. Okay, so you guys did spend some time together in those months. I had a really nice downtown apartment in Austin, fully furnished, clean, and modern. I make good money, $140K plus, and to be honest, I was very comfortable living alone. But I liked her enough to consider moving, so I sold my furniture, most of which was bought less than a year ago, and drove my car more than 1,000 miles to be with her. I told her before moving in my biggest fear is that I might not be comfortable since I won't feel like the place is really mine. She promised that it's my home too, and she wants me to see it as that. But now I don't know how I feel about this decision. Let me list a few of the issues. She gets mad if I forget to turn the shower head to the position that she prefers. Debbie takes let's see 3 seconds to change it. The shower curtain has to always be closed. If I forget, she gets mad. She's often moody and depressed, and mean to me for no reason. If I touch anything of hers and forget to put it back in the right spot, she gets mad. She's extremely selfish with her food, even things I pay for. She got mad the other day because I ate one flat wing out of 5. She said I should have eaten a drum because I know she prefers the flats. Mind you, I paid for all the food, and she had 5 flats and 5 drums. She barely respects my sleep. She has 2 big dogs, and she will bring them in the room at 6 a.m. and they'll jump on me and wake me up. I try to tell her not to do that. Oh, but she won't listen because she's so in love with those dogs. I've been picking up most of the bills, and I feel like that's the main reason she wanted me to move in. Looking back, she's a teacher and wasn't going to be getting paid for 2 months of the summer break. Now I see why she wanted me to move in so badly before the end of the school year. Meanwhile, the couple time has completely disappeared. When I try to get things going, I get pushed away. Okay, there's just something about grocery. Okay, needless to say, I don't feel at home here. I've been slowly putting my clothes in my suitcase. I haven't decided to leave yet, but I'm not sure how to address everything with her. Whenever I tell her something is wrong, she'll cry and blame me for giving her anxiety. How can I approach the situation? Oh, that's it. Well, since she's home, I don't know. Why don't you do something like give her some money and tell her to go get her hair done? And then while she's gone, pack up all the shit, your shit, and put your shit in your car and start your 1,000-mile drive back to Austin and get you a place and just get back to your life. Why don't you do that? Because this is not going to work. This is not going to work. She just, stuck on stupid stuff, and she needs to live alone. Who cares about a shower head? Like you said, I mean, I leave mine in whatever position it was in the last time. It could be anything because I had that kind that, it comes off. It's like a little handle, and then you stick it in the back of a little holder. Sometimes it's pointing to the wall. A couple of times I twisted it and was pointing at me. So when I turned it on, I got sprayed in the face. That was funny. It just, whatever. I mean, why is that even a thing? I don't understand, but whatever. She's a control freak. I don't know about manipulator. She's definitely a control freak. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you that's how I would do it if I was dude. I would be like, yeah, girl, we're going to go out tonight. Here's some money. Go buy you an outfit and go buy you some shoes and a dress and get your hair and nails done. Say give it $300. It'll cost you $300 to get rid of that bitch. I think if a dude is making over $140,000 a year, that's an easily affordable goodbye gift. And then when she gets to the house, she's going to be all excited. She's going to look cute and everything. And then she's going to find your note. Go and take yourself out. And this is a celebration of our breakup. Have a nice time and have a nice life. See, that's how you're going to do it. You're going to leave her little fucking key right there and just deuce out. Get in your car and drive back to Austin or wherever you want to settle. Because, you work remotely. You could go anywhere. Just go there and don't worry about her. And stop meeting people and having long-distance relationships. That's exactly why they never work, because you only get to see the good side of them. Because you don't really spend day-to-day time. As soon as you moved in, you got to see how she is on the day-to-day, and you don't like it. That's why long-distance relationships to me are stupid. You got to see the day-to-day right off the bat. Question number 14. This is a female in the 20 to 34 age group from Norwich in the New UK. These. Summary of issue. How do adults end up so useless? Girl, if I had the answer to that question, I would be a bazillionaire. I got a family member staying with me who I stupidly said could stay for 3 weeks whilst. I love that whilst. She waits for her tendency to begin. Didn't realize how irritating another adult can be. Eating my food without asking, okay, it's just a couple of tins of soup and my homemade bread, but still. Damaging my stuff. She used a scourer on my pans and scratched them up. Using the wrong bins for recycling and food waste. Putting the heating on when I'm out. I know this because I can see the timer setting has changed. I keep telling myself it's just for another couple of weeks, but I'm totally baffled that a 30-year-old can be so inconsiderate and incompetent. I like to approach her about it, but I'm not sure how without making it incredibly awkward. How do adults live on their own for years but still end up being so useless and inconsiderate? Yes, I know I'm going to be yelled at for not laying down the ground rules, but I'm not willing to have that conversation. My anxiety gets in the way. Well, then that's why you all fucked up now. What you want from me? You let the girl come in there and you didn't put down any ground rules, but yet you want to write me and complain about the stuff that she's doing that she didn't know she wasn't supposed to do because you didn't break down no ground rules. You know what? Shut up. Don't say shit because you didn't do the handle your business. And now you want to get mad about shit after the fact. Did you tell her not to eat your food? Did you tell her have your separate food over here? If you didn't do that, then shut up. If you didn't tell her don't touch the heat, the heat's on the timer, don't touch it, then shut up. You know what I mean? You're expecting people to like be a mind reader. You know these young people are stupid. So I mean, there's that. Plus the fact that you have all this secret agenda that you never told anybody. You know, it's called communication. Somebody's gonna be coming into your spot. You should have told her what the rules were for the house. If you didn't do it, which you admitted you didn't, then basically you just gonna have to shut up for the next couple of weeks until she leaves, and that's my answer. You did this shit to yourself. Being scary talking about my anxiety. Question number 15. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from Edmonton in Canada. Summary of the issue. How should I tell my best friend who had struggled with infertility that I accidentally got pregnant? My best friend and her husband had to try for almost 3 years before she finally got pregnant and had a baby boy. In the almost 10 years that they've been married, I've also met my husband and very recently, my soon-to-be husband, and recently got off birth control and started taking supplemental vitamins for fertility. We're talking at most maybe 2 months ago because I didn't want to risk being pregnant at our wedding, and I told my best friend all about this and asked her for advice. Well, I should have been more careful because even though we hadn't really tried, I ended up getting pregnant already. So since my best friend knows how short a time I've been off of birth control, and I've said that I wanted to not be pregnant at my upcoming wedding, she could easily deduce that I miraculously gotten pregnant very quickly. I'm not going to tell her for a while because I just found out and I'm aware that there's a risk of a miscarriage early in the pregnancy. That's very true. Usually you should wait until about the end of the first trimester just to make sure. Some people lose them even then, but it's safer that way. So my question would be to you, how do I approach the subject while still being considerate of her struggles? Should I even be thinking about being considerate? I'm obviously not going to be like, oh my God, it was so easy. Because I know that would be fucked up. I know that I was truly lucky for us to get pregnant that fast. But I also don't know if I should mention that I do, in fact, know how lucky we were. She's not a fragile porcelain doll, but I want to make sure that I don't accidentally put my foot in my mouth and rip up old wounds that she moved past since having her son. I'm honestly very surprised by this turn of events, and I am a bit bummed that now I can't get drunk at the wedding I swore to everyone I was get drunk as fuck at. Girl, it's nice that you were being considerate, and the fact that it took her years to get her baby, but she has a kid now. I could see if she was still trying, then your concerns would have a lot more weight. But she was successful. She has a kid. So what's the problem? Tell her when you tell everybody else. Don't just tell her by herself. Have an announcement. Have a little party or something, and tell everybody then, and they'll think it's something about your wedding. And then then you just tell them then, and tell everybody at the same time. Okay. Then that way, the reaction, whatever reaction she might want to have, she's gonna have to hold her face straight because she'll be in public in front of a whole bunch of other people, and so she won't be able to act too stupid in case that's the path she wanted to take. But so it's for your protection too. That's what I would do. Okay, let's move on. Question number 16. We got 22 questions today. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group from Buxton in Derbyshire in the UK. Summary of the issue. The guy I'm dating never initiates plans. How do I change this? By changing dudes. It's a trick question. We've been exclusive for over a year now, and he would make some plans at the beginning of our relationship, but there's always been unbalanced because I do most of the initiating. When he does make plans, I would have to follow up near the date because if not, he probably won't or we won't go out. Okay. How do I tell him that it hurts me and I wish he'd initiate more without making it seem like I'm forcing him? I don't want to feel like he's doing it out of obligation. Well, that's obviously what's going on. And you're calling yourself dating this guy, but what it really is, you're chasing this guy who's not really that interested in you. I mean, he responds positively probably because he don't have shit else to do that night. But let me tell you a secret. When a dude is into you, he's gonna be making a date for the next date before the first one's finished. So like you on your first date, he is just smitten. He just like, oh my God. He gonna be trying to hook up that second date by the end of the first date, the third date by the end of the second date, and so on and so forth. By the time he gets, talking to you good and y'all gone out 4, 5, 6 times, he gonna start mapping out weekends like Labor Day, 4th of July. We're gonna do this, we're gonna go there, I'm gonna make the reservation. We're gonna go this and then we're gonna go there. We're gonna, this summer. He's making plans because he's making you an integral part of his life. You don't have that. This man is not thinking about you at all. Stop calling him, stop initiating, stop chasing, move on. Okay. He probably won't even notice you gone. He's just totally not interested in you at all. Question number 17. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Some of the issue, is it okay for me to need a bit more emotional care or comfort than most men usually do? Just something that keeps going around in my head. Because a couple of days ago, I watched the new Spider-Man movie. I didn't know there was a new one. And it had some points that left me quite vulnerable and teary. What? I'm 5 now, but I love hugs and affection like hell. So having an SO that is available at those times is a dream of mine. To be honest, a literal dream of mine was, quote, I'm crying at the beginning of Up while I rest my head on my girlfriend's lap and she combs my hair with her fingers, end quote, LOL, he puts. I love comforting, don't get me wrong. It would go both ways. Just as I think it might be a bit unconventional or weird for men to be the delicate one in a relationship. So I have conflicting feelings. I know feelings and emotions are good and all, but I worry I might come across as unreliable or needy if I let this side of me show fully. I am a socially anxious dude with no experience at dating. I'm working on it, and I am still coming to terms with what I like or not about me and how it should be present in a relationship. What do you think? I think that you need to keep that a secret. And it's nice that you acknowledge it and that you know that about yourself. I'm not saying that, knowing yourself is always good because you know how you're going to react in certain situations and whatnot. But I'm going to tell you this, especially in your age group, 22 to 27, people are still extremely immature, and you start emoting all over the place, you're going to scare girls away. You start you talking about, you socially anxious and you have an anxiety and all this shit here. Why would somebody want to be bothered with you being anxious and globbing onto them for emotional support, like an emotional support animal, but his girlfriend? Dude, only the most codependent type of woman would find pleasure in that. Everyone who's just regular, an independent-minded type of woman is going to think you just some kind of freak, and she going to exit stage left like Roadrunner. Beep, beep, the fuck up out of here. That's what's going to happen. So you need to rethink this. And what is it that you think you're going to get from women? It's like you can't have a mommy that you sleep with. That don't work. It goes in women's mind. If they treat you like a kid, then they have a hard time transitioning to seeing you as a lover. So you got to pick one. Do you want her to treat you like a kid and you be cuddled up with her like she's your mommy? Or are you going to be the man and you're going to be her lover, her romantic partner? Which one do you want? So this, every man can cry and have emotions and stuff. People die, your pets die, major disappointments in life. You find out that you really hurt someone that you love and you didn't mean to. You might get a little choked up. Things are going to happen. You would shed a tear, feel upset or whatever. I'm not saying that that's wrong. But you want to cry with a goddamn movie. For real? No. Don't do that. Don't do that. Child, in this age of social media, your story will be all over the news. I'm sorry, X love X. Yeah, girl. Miso soup, shedding big old crocodile tears at some parts of the Spider-Man movie. See, I'm telling you, if I was at a movie or the dude, that Spider-Man movie, and the dude's over there crying, you know what I would do? I say, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be back," and he would never see my ass again. I'll be outside on the taxi, getting myself up out of there. Nope, all the nopes in the world. Question number 18, female, 28 to 34, from Surrey, England. The male, same age group. Summary of issue. My boyfriend moved in with me over a month ago, but he isn't helping with no bills. Oh, he need to move out. I've been sympathetic as he's had a lot going on with his ex-wife and trying to get back on his feet. There's also done a lot of work around my yard, like massive work. He got a job finding a little over 3 weeks ago. Until then, I was supporting everything, including his habits, such as smoking. Oh, what? Isn't a cigarettes like $5 a pack or something? He kept telling me he was going to help split my bills down the middle, and this past grocery trip that he would buy the groceries. He is paid weekly. I didn't say anything about his first check as it wasn't very much, but now the second full week check came in, and he's contributed nothing. He managed to buy an expensive Delta pen, though. What is that? And send his ex-wife a little money. Cue to the grocery store today. He didn't even reach for his wallet, nor offer to transfer me anything. I'm kind of starting to feel used. I had money saved up, so his initial coming here wasn't much of a problem, but now it's starting to eat into my funds. How do I bring this up without offending him? Is a month and a half long enough time to expect a little help financially for living here? It's not cheap supporting another grown adult. I'm not understanding why you're at the grocery thing and the total came. Why you didn't tell him you need to give me, blank amount of money, right? Hold your hand out and say, you paid, so you're going to put down some money. Why did you not do that? Why did you pay for the whole thing with him standing right there? I don't even do like if I see these women, they with a man, right? And they're checking out, and the guy is just standing there or like playing on his phone or doing something, just looking around and stuff. And I'm like, you fat fart, why don't you start putting them groceries in the bag so this long line can move faster? The little clerk is ringing, got like 12 people in line. Lucky's over here is bad for that. They always they used to have that 3 is a crowd thing. They got rid of that shit. So now be people going down the aisles and stuff. So, people, we want to get out of there. And you got these women with their men, and the men just standing there. They could be bagging as the guy puts the groceries, or woman, whoever puts the groceries up on the little thing. And so then you put them in your cart. So then you guys pay and then you roll out. Next. Why did they do see? So I don't even like that. He didn't even want to pay for no groceries. And then he don't do nothing either. I can't with these dudes. I would not be dealing with him like that. So you need to tell him, you working down, just like, I expect this amount of money for the lights, this amount of money for the groceries, and this amount of money for the rent or the water or whatever you want to charge them. And then, I need it to every day when you get paid. If you don't have the money and you don't pay it by this next week, I want you out. So you pick one, because I'm not going to be supporting you. You need to go back to your ex-wife then. And why is he giving her money anyway? He's not living over there. He should be giving that money to you. Question number 19. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from San Rafael, California. Excuse me. Summary of issue. How do I stop being a people pleaser / doormat and have more confidence? I've let everyone walk all over me for 23 years, and I've been... Ooh, that's my nose tickly so sudden. And I've been used so many times as a doormat. I no longer want this. I want to become more selfish and put boundaries and also maintain these boundaries, even stand up for myself like I'm a golden retriever in human form. Damn. Can you give me some advice to how to overcome being a people pleaser? Well, it's not that simple. There's a reason that you're like that, and that's what you need to get at. What's the root cause of that, of that decision that you made at whatever point you made it, that this was the best way for you to move through the world, pleasing other people and sacrificing yourself. Once you figure out where that came from, which it might be so deeply ingrained in you that you don't remember, but sometimes that's what therapy is good for. They can help you figure that out. And once you kind of reckon with that decision that you made at that early age, that this was the safest way for you to move in the world, then you can correct it from there. But until you know at what point and for what reason you decided to behave that way, there's really not too much you can do. You can try to fix it, but the root cause is still there. So it's still going to crop up. It's still going to grow like it's the root, like a root. And so the root is there. You, in order to kill this behavior, you got to dig out the root of it. And that's what I'm saying. You might want to investigate a therapist that can help you do it. And usually they can help you to get to it, pretty quickly. And then you can take it from there. As you can stop yourself, like, you get ready to apologize for something and you say, wait a minute, why am I apologizing? I didn't do anything wrong. And then you stop apologizing. But it's awareness. And like I said, for me, the thing is always the reason why. We all make a decision about why we're doing the things that we do in our lives as adults. At some point, we made a decision that this is how we were going to be. Sometimes people decided, in childhood, I'll never be nobody's mama because, and they look at the examples around them and they, see that others grow up to be abusive because that's what they saw. And they decided, well, these people did it. They hurt me, so I'm going to hurt other people. People make decisions. And most of the time, they're not even really consciously aware of the decisions that they made. It's not like they sat there with pen and paper and said, figured it all out. It's a gut, emotional, visceral kind of reaction to stress, trauma, or something that they observed that was disturbing for them. It's usually that. So there's some deep work here that you're going to have to do. I can't do that for you, and I can't tell you what to do, that will be like a full solution. Stopping the certain behaviors, yeah, but the motivation for you to do that and as your life plan, your choice of behavior will still be there. Question number 20 of 22. This is a young man in the 22 to 27 age group from Boise, Idaho. Summary of the issue. I am currently dating two girls and I need to know when or if I should tell them about each other. These two girls, let's call them Hannah and Stephanie. These are false names, of course. I have been on one great date with Hannah, which involved lots of cuddling, and we both had a great time. As it was a casual date, a lot of the conversation was superficial as we were just getting to know each other. We are very early in the dating phase in both situations. However, I am very afraid of doing the morally wrong thing and hurting one or both girls, especially because my first date with Stephanie ended up being very romantic and felt a bit deviated from the casual vibe. I've been on 2 dates with Stephanie now. Our second date lasted 8 hours with lots of cuddling and kissing too. Plus, we had deeper conversations about our emotional challenges from our past. I met both of them on dating apps, 2 different ones. The problem is neither girl knows about the other and have not yet decided which of these 2 girls I like more. I'm aware that I cannot keep this up forever, but I need more time to decide. In the meantime, I need advice about when would be the best time to tell them that I'm dating other people and what would be the best way to go about it. Well, they're gonna probably bring it up. Just be patient. Just be patient, because the women, they always want to do is, well, what are we? This question that I hate. What are we? Where's this going? Are you seeing anyone else? And you'll be like, yes, as a matter of fact, I am. Where's this going? I don't know yet. We have, we just really getting started yet. And, it's not like we're a couple or anything. You got to remind them. You got to pull that brother out. That, it ain't like we a couple or nothing. We just kicking it. We just having fun. 2 single people enjoying each other. You got to remind them of what the status is of y'all's little situation. Don't be shy and don't mince words. You better use all the words. We just having a good time. It ain't no commitment here. We ain't a couple. It ain't, ain't nobody in love. Just go down the whole list. Player style. So they know what time it is. They can never say you didn't tell them. And then you say, is that a problem for you? You need to ask, be upfront with it. Say, I'm seeing other people. I haven't made any decisions yet about if I want to be serious with either of them people or start with somebody new. I don't know. You got to put that in there too. Put it on notice. And say, I really like you though. I want to keep seeing you, but if you're not comfortable with that, then, we can stop here. That's fine. You're going to act like you don't give a shit because you really don't. It's not like you're a couple and you ain't committed. You ain't, that she ain't your lady. Just somebody you met on an app. So that's how you got to roll like that. Put your player hat on and just deliver the message that she needs to hear. And then she was probably going to follow up and say, well, are you looking for a commitment? Do you want to be ready for the answer? Because that always comes next. But that's what you're doing right now. But, are you looking for a commitment or you just want to play the field? I don't know yet. I haven't really thought about it. That's what you better say. Better pull a Deb move. I don't know. No, he's not a homosexual. He ain't trying to live with nobody. He's just doing what I say, a pair and a spare, but he only got a pair. I tell women to do this. Ex-love, to date. Oh, you talking about the other guy, the guy who moved in with the chick? Oh, yeah, who knows what that clown is. But yeah, just, you should really, according to my way of thinking, you would have those two plus one more. And you would be, cycling, then you figure out which ones you like the best and you drop one and then you cycle in somebody else. And then until one just like totally overwhelms your senses and you just want to be with her. And then there you go. I saw this Korean drama I watched over the weekend on Hulu called Crazy Love. It was so good. That girl, she took the dude used to mess with her, and she took her resignation letter and she bitch slapped him like a dozen times with this thing. And the acting was so good. It was funny. I was on the floor. Just if you get a chance to see it. But you have to like to read subtitles. It's called Crazy Love. I was rolling. But somehow this made me think of that. Because they would be bitch slapping you if you don't tell them. Question number 21. This is a male in the 35 to 41 from Roxbury, Massachusetts. Summary of issue. What does it mean to be, quote, the man of the house? I'm 40 and I ought to know this, but I've never had a positive male role model. Please, Deb, explain it like I'm clueless as I'm even at 40. I grew up in a house where the man of the house was an abusive narcissist and everything was his way or there was hell to pay. The other role model I have is my ex of 14 years, her dad. He was emotionally abusive to everyone in his house. He did whatever he wanted, and everyone had to go out of their way to not disturb him. And they all had to wait on him. Oh, how horrible. Deb, I go out of my way to not be either of these men, which puts me in a passive role. My wife keeps telling me that she wants me to be the man of the house, but she can't explain to me what that means to her. I know I have room to improve, but I generally don't know what to do. Can you give me some pointers? You guys, please share what your thoughts are on what it means to be a man of the house. So, sir, after you hear my answer, be sure to check there because a lot of ladies in here, and they're going to share their thoughts with you too. Couple of lines, you guys, don't have to be a novel, but just give him some thoughts about what it means to be a man in the house. Now, to me, what I was going to say that you probably are being too passive, and you admitted it right in the last paragraph. But what that means is when something is okay, say something is broken in the house, something's this and that. She doesn't want you to wait for her to tell you that it needs to be fixed. She doesn't want you to say, well, call somebody and that she has to do it. She wants you to take charge of making sure that gets fixed. So what the role of the man in the house is to provide and protect for everyone under his domain. That's what that means. Does that mean that they run around and treat you like a king? No. Are they servants and minions? No. Are they respected? Absolutely. Are they loved and cared for? Absolutely. So, are they allowed to have a controverting opinion that you guys share with respect? Absolutely. So it's the kind of thing like, but your wife is looking for you to step up, sir. When you're being a passive guy, it's like you just milk toast. And you can look that up if you don't know the different, definition of it is one of my favorite words to describe men that aren't really very strong. You don't have to be like those negative guys. There is a middle ground. Did you ever think of that? They're at the extreme end of jerk. And then you're at the end of just passive, nothing like marshmallow fluff. There's a middle ground where a guy has tenderness. He has concern. He shows love. He, shows respect to his wife. He asks for her thoughts and opinions before a big decision is made. He just don't run off like he's a, emperor or something. He's like, babe, such and such and such. And, what do you think? Should we go look at this and that? This, I mean, she's your partner. You respect her. She has input into big decisions. But a decision has to be made, and you are the one that ultimately is going to be responsible for it. So you're the one that's ultimately going to be the one that makes it. That's what man of the house means. Does it mean that you're a dictator? No. Does it mean you seek input from your spouse? Absolutely. Sometimes even from the kids. You get their little buy-in. Let them feel like they have a voice in their house. I mean, within reason. Stuff like that. Yeah, we don't like having to tell you everything like you're a kid. Do this, do that. You see shit on the floor, you kids and drop toys. You tell the kids, come in here, pick up your toys and put them back in the thing. Your mama's not your maid. Get in here, clean all this mess up, and then get in there and clean that room. Do stuff like that. So she doesn't always have to do it. Don't put all the weight for everybody and everything on the household on her. That's how you be the man of the house. Okay. Your kids should be like, if she says something and they be giving some lip, you should have the thing in the house. You should have everybody. It's such in check that if you give them that look, they say, oh shit, their blood freezes in their veins because daddy gave you the look. My daddy, I'm telling you, to this day, I just got a chill down my spine thinking about that look on his face. Oh my God, that man was scared the shit out you. And he would never, do anything, but he would just give you that look like, keep it up. Keep it up and you gonna be sorry. And we knew whatever we was doing, we would brakes and stop doing it immediately. Whereas with my mother, we'd be like, yeah, we're gonna keep it, we're gonna try her. But once daddy said, you heard what your mama said and give you that look, shit, all shenanigans came to a screeching halt. That man did not play. Okay, yeah, they got some good comments here. So check those out. Make you a list, okay? I think you'll do well because at least you're recognizing that there's something that you lack. And that's like 90% of the battle. Then it's just, feeling comfortable with the fact that you don't have to be like them, nor do you have to be like you. You're going to adjust yourself right to the middle ground. Listen to what they got to say and listen to what I got to say, and you should be all right. I think your wife will be very happy. And our final question of tonight, question number 22. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group out the UK. She says, some of the issue is, how do I reject a coworker without ruining my new friend group? I just moved to a new country thanks to a job. There were a few others hired by the company who are foreigners like me. We're all in our mid to late 20s. One of them is a guy who we'll call John. We're not from the same country, just so you know. Last night, my coworkers and I went bar crawling. John, simply because I really don't like getting drunk and I hate loud noise. I have auditory ADHD and anxiety. I wonder if I have that because I can't stand loud noises either. But I say because I want to get along with my new coworkers. John was nice to me because he could tell I would get overwhelmed and offered to step outside with me for breaks. We weren't ever alone, save for those few short moments, so I didn't really notice any unique or flirty behavior from him. However, one of my other coworkers loudly shouted, "Do you like her?" at one point in the night as we all sat down at a table, and John was taking the seat next to me. I was a little confused, but then he said yes. I was very startled by this revelation and asked if he meant as friends. He said he thought I barely from later told me I should just hook up with him because he's good looking. Ooh. I was reluctant again, and they all encouraged me, saying I was pretty, etc. All the nice drunk girl things. Here's the thing, Deb. I am a V. I've been in a relationship before and kissed, etc., but nothing more than that. I also don't really like the idea of hookups. When he admitted that he liked me, I got a dreadful feeling and became uncomfortable. When I think about being intimate with someone, I feel a lot of shame suddenly, and I almost cry. In addition, I don't know him. I think he may be a nice person so far, but I don't feel particularly attracted to him or anything. I personally kind of hope he was just drunk in a moment and said that everyone had been drinking a lot except for me, so I don't have to deal with it. How do I reject him in a way where he doesn't get upset? I don't want to mess up this new friend group since I'm in another country and would feel isolated if I make too much tension. I just don't like this attention and I feel worried about him flirting with me again. What should I say or do? I really have no idea how to handle this. Okay, what you're going to do is, and what you should have done right there on the spot so everybody was on notice, and say, well, that's nice and that's, flattering or whatever, but I never date anybody from my jobs. That's my rule. My parents told me that that's a great mistake, and I intend to never break it. So that would never happen. That's what you should have said right there in front of everybody. So then if he comes back with anything else, you can say, didn't I already tell you that I don't do, this dating at work thing? Never get your honey where you make your money. That's it. So, I'm sorry, John, but that'll never happen. Okay, now, what are you going to do about this guy? You're going to put space between you and him. My concern is that they all know you in this foreign country by yourself. You don't know nobody. You don't have any backup. Don't be bringing these folks to your house. Don't let them. I mean, I guess somebody's going to know where you live because, HR or whatever has your documents, but don't bring them to your house. Don't let nobody drop you off at home. They can take you to a train station or bus stop or something like that. Not at your house. Do not have them at your house. You do not want this man to know where you live so he can be coming knocking on your door talking about, oh, I just wanted to talk to you or something like that. Don't do it. Be very careful about this kind of stuff. You want to be friendly with them, but not to the point where you involve them in your personal life too much. You don't go to his house, you don't go to their houses, and you don't go and they ain't coming to yours. If you go out, you drinking, you have one, maybe two drinks at the most. You get your app. I'm gonna call it a night. I'm exhausted, and you gotta get yourself a cab, and you're gonna take your little ass home. That's what you're gonna do. Don't stay there drinking with them and with a bunch of people that have been drinking too much, and they're going to increase the likelihood of inappropriate things being said or done. It's just like these women say, oh, just sleep with themselves. See, that's whole shit. You shouldn't tell somebody you don't even know just met to go sleep with some clown at your job. That was so inappropriate. You good, because I would have cussed them out, but, you not like me. Like, bitch, what the fuck up? Sleeping with that motherfucker. It would have been one of them kind of some conversations. But, yeah, just be very careful, okay? Because you don't have that much experience, and it's just a whole bunch of like alarm bells was ringing about this situation, especially since these girls seem to be pushing you in that direction. Don't trust them. Don't trust them. Don't let them buy you no drinks. Don't let them give you no food, because the next thing you know, you're going to be at John's house, or John's going to be at yours, or you're going to be at one of their houses or something in bed with John and not know what happened. Be very, very careful. This whole story here is kind of weird and creepy. Okay. I know you feel like you don't know anybody and, your people at work and whatnot, and it's probably okay, but just be aware of what I'm saying. A lot of the bullshit goes down in situations where young girls don't know what's happening and don't have the street savvy to deal with it. So I'm telling you now in advance what to watch for. Okay. So you can't say you didn't know. Yeah, well, I would hope she don't tell them that. Kimberly said to remind you, don't tell them that you're a V. Well, you should be talking about anything sexual at work anyway. I mean, that conversation, like I said, with them girls was so inappropriate. Those girls, what they said to you was so inappropriate. But, don't you go volunteer any information about yourself to them. Not where you live, not, nothing. They don't need to know anything about you and your private life. And that includes your V status. Okay, those certain things you should not talk about at work, and that's one of them. All right, so be very careful. Some women just got big loose lips, and they feel like, oh, well, they're my friends. I'm going to tell them. These bitches ain't your friends. You can tell by the way that they're trying to push you to do some hoe shit. And just met you. You just met this dude. Who does that? So, just be careful with them. I don't trust them. But anyway, this is the end of the show. It was kind of rough because I noticed the internet was just dragging and kept going in and out. It was awful. But hopefully you guys got, the gist of most of the letters, and everything will work out well. So if you have a question and you want to send it in, this is how you do it. Where is it? Oh, yeah, here we go. This one. Submit your advice question to What the Fuck Wednesday, which is normally when this show is on Wednesday. And you log on to debsterism.com, which you can see at the bottom of the screen there, debsterism.com, and look for the tab that says Get Advice. You click that tab and fill it out with your question and press send. And then we will be able to, at least you have an opportunity, I don't know what Candace does, how she picks the letters or whatever, but that's her arena. I don't have nothing to do with it. I just read the letters that she picked, and that's how we roll with the show. All right. So you guys be real good. Have a fabulous weekend. And we got like 2 more weeks before we start DNN. So get ready. You want to send in some crap stuff that you find online. Email it to me at survivingdating@gmail.com and make the subject line DNN or Dusty News. So we got 2 weeks for that to start. And then we have another, we have this on every Wednesday night. So I'll see you guys next week. Bye.